One is Loisel, that is her wife's name. And the name of her husband, I forgot that husband.
You forgot the name of the husband?
Hello? Sir, you have muted yourself.
Yeah, I'm asking, you forgot the name of the woman's, what do you call to that? Yeah, her husband.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, what's your name? Sneha?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about it? Okay, fine, no issue. I'll just give the brief idea on this. I'll just go from the recap of it, and then after we'll proceed where we left. So the necklace, right? As we understood that the necklace is a kind of a chapter, right, which gives the idea about a woman, right, whose name is called as a Madame Loisel, is not it? So, or you can talk about Matilda.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So at the initial stage, we draw that the author is trying to give us some kind of idea like how means through the warm-up we draw. Matilda is invited to a grand party. She has a beautiful dress but no jewelry. She borrows a necklace from a friend. What is the name of her friend? It's called as a Madame Forestier, right? And what happened? Matilda or Madame Loisel loses it. Now, what happens then? We, when we started the beginning of it, we draw that Madame Loisel is what kind of a person, why she is always, or why is she always unhappy. We draw that she was nothing but a pretty lady, young ladies, but she was unfortunate because she believes that, or it was made us believe that it was a error of destiny or accident that she was born in a poor family or into a family of clerk, right? So she had no dowry, no hopes, no means of becoming known, loved and married by a man either rich or distinguished, right? So she allowed herself to marry a petty clerk. So if you talk about um, her husband is a petty clerk, right? So you can say that a middle class person working in a one of the board of education office of the board of education, and her husband was very innocent and simple also. So the woman Matilda was also simple, but she was unhappy. Why she was unhappy? Because she always looked for high class and also rich thinking, right? And she wanted to live a lavish lifestyle, which she could not, right? And that she believed that it was nothing but an error of destiny. So she suffered incessantly, feeling herself burned for all delicacies and luxuries. She felt that means she's supposed to enjoy all the delicacies and luxuries, right? She suffered from the poverty of her apartment. So after getting into the marriage, she lived in an apartment, so whose walls are shabby or dirty in condition. The chairs were burned, and all these things actually tortured her and angered her also. Why? Because she believed that means she was living in such a poor life, right, where she should not be, right? So she suffered continuously. When she seated herself for like one instant, we find out that when she seated herself for dinner with her husband, who who was very simple and also coming out from the middle class background, right, felt very happy with uh, um, finding a good pot pie, whereas she felt odd, and also she did not feel happy with this, right? Because she would think of elegant dinners. Elegant dinners means something like remarkable dinners of shining silver, right? She thought of unique food, right? Costly food served in a means remarkable dishes, right? So that's what she thought of, right? And that's why she did not find that dinner was at all good, right? So even she pointed that how she had neither frocks nor jewels, uh, nothing, and she loved only those of the things. As far as I told you, she wanted to live a lavish lifestyle, right? Luxurious lifestyle. So coming out from the middle class background, looking herself or finding herself like she was pretty, married to a kind of a middle class person working in a board of education. So she felt like uh, it was a torture to her life, right? So she was completely suffering from that. She wept from the whole days and despair and disappointment. And then after, what happened when her husband one day, right, brought one of the invitation from from his office. So that that invitation was nothing but from the Minister of Public Instruction and Madam Judge Rampanu, right? So who wanted Mr. and Madam Loisha should present in that particular party. But instead of being happy or excited, she uh, she was completely, uh, you can say that, unhappy with that, and was murmuring, right? So for which her husband got upset and also wanted to know the reason behind it. And she pointed that she did not have a dress to wear, she did not have good dress to wear, and uh, she did not have also any necklace, right? So she pointed that without having those of the things, she could not go to the party. And finally, she also pointed that means, if possible, then her husband should give that particular invitation to somebody else, right, who could afford that. Um, but with this particular upset or embarrassment, what happened, her husband means who wanted to attend the party requested means Madam Loisel to bring one of the new frocks for herself, right? So means, and for which he even uh, do not hesitate to give his 400 francs. That we know that how much money he gave. He gave 400 francs, and that 400 francs, for what reason he kept it, or see, he saved it. Now means he saved for joining some hunting parties for the next summer that he would attend with his friends, right? Why not to shoot larks? Larks means referring to the birds, right? But at the same time, means looking at the embarrassment of his wife, what he did, he decided to give that 400 francs, right? So, and with that, means he requested his wife to the to bring a pretty dress. Now, this is something indicating to the first part of it. I hope you people understand that. Means the first part is indicating about uh, how a husband who is so innocent and also ready to means make his wife happy, and for which he did not hesitate to means satisfy whatever her desire, right? So the second part is indicating about when the ball when the day of the ball came near, Madame Loisel seemed sad, right? Disturbed, anxious, nevertheless. Why? The second part said that despite getting the dresses, right, she was still unhappy. Why? What was the reason behind it? Now, her dress was nearly ready. Her husband said to her one evening, "What is the matter with her?" Right? So she had acted strangely for 2 or 3 days, right? So she responded that she was vexed not to have a jewel. She was embarrassed. She was embarrassed because she did not have a jewel to wear, and without jewels, she could not decorate herself, right? So she should have such a means a poverty-stricken look. Without jewelry, she would look like means coming out from the poor background, right, or poor family. I would prefer not to go to this party. So she pointed that. So he replied, and means with that particular note, her husband also gave a suggestion that she could wear some natural flowers, right? So for which she could look beautiful or pretty. She was not convinced or called as a means agreed with her husband. So she replied, no, there is nothing more than humiliating or called as a feeling means what do we say that embarrassing, right, or insulting than to have a shabby air in the midst of rich women. So she pointed that when the party is covered with all these rich women, among them she could not wear a flower and decorate herself with a flower and go in between them. So she compared that with uh, that it is nothing but an insult to her, right? Uh, in the middle of the rich woman. So then her husband cried out, right, and stated that you are how stupid you are. So it's nothing but a kind of a way of expression where he pointed or he recollected that what now you means his wife have a friend named Madame Forestier. So she should go and ask for a jewelry or jewels to her or uh, lend her lend any of the jewelry items from her, right? So even she also means realized that, and that's why she exclaimed that yeah, it was true, right? So and she had not thought of that, right? So the next day she went to her friend's house and pointed her means sadness or convey her uh, sadness, and then after she said that she wanted one of the means jewelry item to wear and also uh, attend the party, right? So Madame Forrester was very close to her, so that's why she went. She went to her closet, right? Took out a large closet. It's called as a safe, where all these jewelry items are kept secret, right? So she went to her closet and took out a large jewel case, brought it, opened it, and said, "You can choose any of the jewelry item." So she saw at first some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels of admirable workmanship, means a beautiful and neatly decorated. Some of the uh, bracelets and pearls, a color of pearls, as well as means good workmanship were beautifully decorated jewelry items also which would be attracted. She tried all the jewels before the glass, before the mirror, and she felt that it was or they were not up to the mark. She hesitated to take that, but she also was in a confusion that whether to take them or leave them, right? Then she asked for some more jewelry items, so for which means even Madame Forestier agreed to show, right, and said that why not? I do not know what will please you. You can take whichever she wanted to. Suddenly, she discovered in a black satin box, right? So black satin box, it's a kind of a box where a beautiful, superb necklace of diamonds was kept, right? Her hands trembled because she believed that it was very costly, right? As she took it out, she placed it about her throat against her dress, like to see herself how whether that particular jewelry item means fit with her appearance or not. And it was ecstatic. It was remarkable, right? So, and she looked pretty also. Then she asked in a means hesitating voice why it is called as a hesitating voice, because she found that it would be costly, so that's why she was in a kind of a dilemma or confusion whether that particular gold jewelry would be given to her or not. So that's why in a hesitating voice, she thought like whether she would ask for it or not. So that's why hesitating voice, full of nervousness, and finally she asked for could she get that or not. Only that. So means, but fortunately her friend was ready to give her, right? She fell upon the neck of her friend, so she hugged her because of her genial attitude, kindness attitude, and hold her with full of excitement. Then she went away with her treasure. With her treasure means with that uh, precious jewelry item, right? So finally, what happened? They went for the ball. The ball is called as a party, right? A dance party, and Madame Loisel was a great success. She looked prettiest of all, and she was also elegant, gracious, attractive, smiling, and full of joy, right? Everyone noticed her, and everyone also asked her name and wanted to be present. She danced with also in full of interest and intoxicated with the pleasure. Uh, so thinking of nothing, intoxicated. Intoxicated means not to be poisoned, right? With the pleasure. So she was not having any of the negativity, thinking of nothing but this admiration. She was just feeling great. This victory so complete and sweet to her heart. She felt that that day was awesome to her. So she went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. So she spent throughout the night mm, that particular place, and she went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband had been half asleep in one of the little saloons since midnight, right? Um, so with three other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much, right? So not only Madame Loisel or Matilda, so other three gentlemen whose wives were also enjoying themselves very much. So he threw around her shoulders the modest wrap. He threw around her shoulders the modest, right, wraps they had carried, which poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costume, right? So he threw around her shoulder means that's called as her husband threw her through his hand, right, uh, around Matilda's shoulders with the modest covers they had carried, whose poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costume. So poverty means that called as a poorness, right? Which is a hit with whom? With the means elegance of the ball costume. Elegance means that's something called as a uh, uh, or costly, or called as a shining, or called as a remarkable of the ball costume. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by the other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Right. So obviously, other women were also enjoying that themselves, right, covering themselves in rich furs with the having lot of things on their means, body, on their around their neck. Loisel detained her, right? So wait, he said, I'm going to call a cab, right? So Madame Loisel detained, right? So, and her husband said, I'm going to call a cab. But she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. Who? Matilda or Madame Loisel. So when they were in the street, means Madame Loisel with her husband, they found no carriage and they began to seek for one, right? So as it was 4 o'clock in the morning, so none of the carriage were found. Hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance, coachman. So they found that the coachman was near to them, right, or I mean, far from their place. So they walked along toward the river, and they were hopeless and shivering, right, because it was the winter season. Finally, they found one of those old carriages that one sees in Paris after nightfall. So you can say that Tonga, right? Uh, After during the night time, so those of the old carriages could be found in Paris. So like that, one of them So they found it took them as far as their door, and they went warily up to their apartment. So for quickly they went into their apartment. It was all over for her, and on his part, he remembered that he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock. So Mr. Loisel knew that, or understood that means they were very late, and um, he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock in the morning. So she removed the wraps from her shoulder, right, before the glass for a final view of herself in her glory, right. So, um, whom do you find out that Madame Loiser? So, who wanted to see herself first, right? For a final view of herself in her beauty, she wanted to see before mirror. Suddenly, she uttered a cry. She shouted loudly. And why was that so? Now, her necklace was not around her neck. The necklace that she lent from whom? The necklace that she lent from Madame Forestier. And that necklace was not around her neck, right? So obviously it would be creating a kind of a shock or trauma to her mind. So for which she shouted loudly. Now the third part is pointed that Loisel already half undressed, right? Loisel already half undressed. So who? We were talking about her husband, Mr. Loisel, who was half undressed and asked, "What is the matter?" She turned towards him excitedly and said that, I have no longer have Madame Forestier necklace. So his wife, Mansu, who was standing in front of the mirror to see herself the last look or final look, so she said to her husband that she did not have that Madame Forestier necklace. So it was again the same shock to Mr. Loigel also, because he arose in dismay. Right? What? Dismay. Dismay is called as floated with the sadness. Right? What? How is that? It is not possible. And they looked in the folds of the dress, in the folds of the cloak, in his pocket, in the pocket, everywhere. They could not find it. So you would find out that, so they thought like it would fall in their dress, or maybe in the bag, right? So, or in the pockets, might be kept somewhere, but it was not. They could not find it. So he asked, "You are sure you still had it when we left the minister's house?" Why did he ask such questions? Because mm, if she did not have that after leaving the minister's house, then might be it would be fallen there, right? So that the reason means he asked, wanted to make himself sure. So means Madame Loisel said, "Yes, I felt it as we came out. It means it was not there in the minister's house. But if you had lost it in the street, we should have heard it fall." So obviously it's a big one. So it's a logically or understandably, Mr. Loisel also pointed that if you had lost it in the street, then they should have heard it by the sound of its fall, right? It must be in the cab, right? Cab means where which through they came, right? So yes, it is possible. Did you take the number? No. So they did not take the number of it. So obviously they won't have any idea about it, right? So no. And you, did you notice what it was? No. So they neither have the number of that cab nor they notice about the cab. So they looked at each other, utterly cast down, right? So utterly cast down means they were severely in a sad situation, right? Dejected, right? Hopeless. Finally, Loisel dressed himself again. Why? Now he said he was going over the track where we went on foot. So he could check along the road, might be fallen somewhere on the road. So to see whether he could find it. And he went. She remained in her evening gown, and Madame Loisel was at home, and she was in that same evening gown, not having the force to go to bed. So even obviously her rest was taken away, right? So not having the force to go to bed. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. He had found nothing. So it was not on the street. He went to the police and to the cab offices, and he put an advertisement in the newspapers, right? Offering a reward also. So because they believed that it was very costly. It was very costly, and uh, that's the reason through these are the ways they could make or they could get it, right? So that's the reason they put it in advertisement in the newspaper offering a reward. She waited all day in a state of confusion state, bewilderment. The meaning of bewilderment is called as a confused state, right? All day in a state of bewilderment before this frightful disaster. So the disaster, the fearful disaster, frightful or fearful disaster that occurred to them. What was that frightful disaster? They lost the necklace. Nigel returned in the evening, right? His face pale, or he had discovered nothing, right? So this gives us, or this reminded us one of the things that we should leave what we have, right? We should not expect more than what we cannot afford to, right? So uh, whatever, he had discovered nothing. He did not find out a single clue. He said, write to your friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace and that you will have it repaired. That will give us time, right? So obviously, the means Madame Loisel had taken that uh, necklace from whom? Necklace from means her friend whose name is Madame Forestier. Now Madame Forestier definitely asked for it. So that is why means Mr. Loisel here gave an idea to Madame Loisel that what? That she should have written uh, a note to her friend and to ask for some time. Why? Now, because the jewelry, right, was broken, right, or you can say that the clasp of the necklace was broken, and that's why they needed to repair it, and it demands time, right? So that's why clasp means something which is holding it tightly, right? It was broken. So she wrote as he dictated. Dictated means Mr. Loisel speak, and Madame Loisel wrote it. At the end of a week, what happened? They had lost all hope. Who had lost all hope? Means Madame and Mr. Loisel. And Loisel, older by 5 years, declared we must replace this jewel. Right. So obviously, Mr. Loisel was 5 years, 5 years elder to his wife, and that's why means even older by 5 years. Also, you can say as it is referring to the age. So that's why means older by 5 years and declared that we must replace this jewel. Right. So we must replace this jewel means they don't have the means actual jewelry which was given to them by Madame Forestier. So that's why they needed to return it, and for returning, they needed to make the same kind of a jewelry item so that they can return. So that is why what they did. Now they decided to replace that jewel. So in a shop of the Palais Royal, they found a chaplet of diamonds, which seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. So as they got, right, the same kind of, not the exactly same kind of imitation, you can say that copy of, right? So copy of the same, right? Same type, so which they had lost. So they found it, and it was a chaplet of diamonds, but it was valued costly. How much? At 40,000 francs. How much it cost? 40,000 francs. If you see that, means so costly it was at that time. They could get it for 36,000 francs. Right. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs, which his father had left him, right? So, as a husband, what he could do, right? So, at the end of the day, it is his wife, right, who demanded, he fulfilled, he lost it, now he had to pay for it, right? So, Loisel possessed 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. He borrowed the rest, again borrowed money. He made ruinous promise. So promises which would make you suffer. That is why it is called as ruinous promises. Like, I will work for you. I will work in a day. I will work in a night. I will even work in the evening. Right. So means 24 hours. I will take money. I will pay you the interest, whatever the interest that you demand. I'll pay more than that, right? So it means anyhow, uh, you have to buy that necklace, and for which what he did, now he had 18,000 francs that his father had left for him. So with that means he borrowed the rest with making all those promises which would put him suffer, right? He took money from usurers, right? So loan givers, you can say usurers, and the whole race of lenders. So wherever he found, he took the loan, took money. Then he went to get the new necklace, depositing on the merchant's counter 36,000 francs, and finally got that necklace. And that necklace he gave it to Madame Forestier. So when Madame Loisel took back the jewels to Madame Forestier, Madame Loisel went where? Madame Loisel went to Madame Forestier. Why? To give him, give him or give her the give her necklace, and that's why the latter said to her in a frigid tone. So you would find out two things happened here. The first thing is called as they suffered to buy that 36,000 francs jewelry item. Second thing is called as they have taken from Madame Forestier. So what they have to do? Now they have to immediately give it back. But as they took much time, so for which Madame Forestier also means gave her some kind of a means you know some kind of a scold also, you can say, in a frigid tone or in an irritating tone. What? Now the latter, Madame Forestier said Madame Loisel in a irritating tone that you should have returned that necklace to me sooner, for I might have needed them. Right? Obviously, it is her product, and she should have uh, collected, or she should have got it as soon as possible, right? But as they lost it, what they would do? So that is why Madame Forrester did not open the jewel box as Madame Loisel feared she would, right? They thought that Madame Forrester would open it and would see it and shout upon them. So what would she think if she would perceive the substitution? Perceive means if she finds out the means not the same but the alternate one. What should she say? Would she take her for a robber? Right? She would think that it was stolen, right? Madame Loisel now knew the horrible life of necessity. But anyhow, nothing was happened like that. But after giving back to Madame Forestier her property, so when Madame Loisel now, after that, Madame Loisel's life was started horrible. Why? Now, Madame Loisel now knew the horrible life of necessity. Horrible life of necessity means they took money from different people, and they were living in such a horrible condition, because now they understood the meaning of necessity. She did her part. Who did her part? Means Madame Loisel. Like we know that Mr. Loisel also did what? Now he worked day, evening, night, right? So because he had to pay back the money that he took from others, right? So simultaneously, Madame Loisel also did her part. However, completely heroically means called as a courageous. It was necessary to pay this fearful debt that they had taken from others. She would pay it. They sent away the maid who came to their house for working purpose. So they sent away. Now the maid job would be done by whom? Means Madame Loisel. They changed their lodgings. They were living in a kind of a big house. Now they shifted to small house. They rented some rooms in an attic, right? They rented some rooms in an attic. So they were living in a very small house. She learned the odious work of a kitchen. So she understood, right, what she's supposed to do. And she's supposed to do the odious. Odious means odd work, that shabby work of a kitchen. She washed the dishes. She washed the soiled linen, right? So their clothes and disclothes, which she hung on the line to dry, hung on the line to dry. She took down the refuse. She took down the refuse to the street each morning and brought up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath and clothed like a woman of the people. She went to the grocers and clothed like a woman of the people. She went to the grocers, the butchers, and the fruiterers with a basket on her arm, shopping, haggling to the last sou of her miserable money. Now imagine that all these things she did. The woman who was once looked prettiest, now what would be her condition? And that's all because of that one evening, right? So she did all such kind of a thing. The husband worked evenings putting the books of money. The husband worked evenings putting the books of some merchants in order, and nights he often did copying at 5 sous a page. He also did his part, and this life lasted for 10 years. 10 years they have been suffering with such kind of a situation. They have to arrange money. They have to pay back their debts. So, and for which husband did means throughout the day, throughout the evening, and even in the night, he often did copying at 5 sous a page. And his wife, who would do all the homework, means household activities, even means left the maid, or means, was doing the job of the maid also, right? So at the end of 10 years, they had restored all. They got back their everything, right? Madame Loisel seemed old now. So this 10 years took her young age. She had become a strong, hard woman, the crude woman of the poor household, crude, strong woman of the poor household. Her hair badly dressed, her skirts awry, looked not shabby, her hands red. She spoke in a loud tone, even her voice was harsh, and washed the floors with large pails of water. But sometimes, when her husband was at the office, when her husband was not there at home, she was alone, she would sit herself before the window and think of that evening party of former times, of that ball where she was so beautiful and so attracted, so flattered, everybody admired her, right? So that those of the days she was thinking, how would it have been if she had not lost the necklace? That was a big question. So who knows how singular is life and how full of changes, how smaller things will ruin or save one. So she was thinking all these things, that if she had not lost the necklace, her life would be different, right? And it was an individual's life, and now full of changes. How a smaller thing will ruin or save one. Means even so, if that was not happening, so she was not going to live such a horrific life, right? And she was not having that 10 years in such a condition. So uh, then one Sunday, as she was taking a walk in the Champs Elysees to read herself of the Cares of the Week. So it was a Sunday morning and Sunday time. She was taking a walk in the Champs Elysees to read herself of the Cares of the Week. Means throughout the week she was doing a lot of hard work, and that day she was just taking a nap, or taking herself of the cares of the week. She was just doing exercise. She suddenly found a woman walking with a child. It was none other than Madame Forrester, still young, still pretty, still attractive. So now Madame Loisel found Madame Forrester where now means in a park, where she was doing nothing but getting rid herself of the cares of the week, right? And she found whom? She found Madame Forrester. So Madame Loisel thought here whether she should speak to her or not, whether she should speak to Madame Forrester or not. So, but she understood that why not she would speak. Now she had paid all the money to her, or she had paid, means all the monies of the debts, all the money she had taken from the debts. She even returned her jewelry item. She would tell her all. Why not? So she went near to her and asked, "Good morning, Jenny." So, Madame Forrester, like here we find out Madame Loisel, who have been called as a Matilda. So, similar to that, Madame Forrester, who have been also called as a Jenny. She went near to her and gave her greetings. "Good morning, Jenny." Her friend did not recognize her and was surprised to be so familiarly addressed by this common personage. So obviously, somebody who was so familiar in voice, so close to her, so common in uh, communication. So she stammered, she stopped, and she got stuck. "But madam, I do not know. You must be mistaken." Right. Madame Forrester was telling here to Madame Loisel. So Madame Loisel here stated, "No, I am Matilda Loisel." So she gave her, identity. Madame Loisel gave her identity and said that, "No, I am Matilda Loisel." So immediately Madame Forrester got a surprise and cry of astonishment, surprising. "Oh my God, my poor Matilda, how you have changed." So obviously the 10 years took all the, changes in her, right? So she said, "Yes, I have had some hard days since I saw you, right? And some miserable ones and all because of you." So she, Madam Matilda pointed that what happened to her, why she was in such a situation, and she blamed all these things to whom? Madam Forrester, and said that since the day I met you, I found some miserable ones and all because of you. So Madam Forrester was surprised. "How is that? How because of me?" Now, then after Madam Elijah said that, "You recall the diamond necklace that you loaned me, that you gave me to wear to the minister's dance party, ball?" So Madam Forrester said, "Yes, very well. I know that. Well, I lost it. Madame Loisel said that she lost it. But how could it was possible? Or how could it possible? Because means Madame Forrester had already taken it back. How is that since you returned it to me? Madame Forrester said or asked you. I returned another to you exactly like it. So Madame Loisel told her that what she did, now she returned exactly like that. And it has taken us 10 years to pay for. Right? The money for which, the money in which they have means got that. Right? So it had taken 10 years time to pay off. You can understand that it was not easy for us who have nothing. So Madame Loisel said that they were middle class. But at the same time, it made a question here. If it was not easy for us who have nothing, if she understood this, then why did not she? Why did not she means stop that? Why did not she tell the truth at the same time? Well, but it is finished and I'm decently content. I'm decently content means now I am means satisfied with the limited things with me. Madame Forrester stopped shocked. It was a shock to her. She said, you say that you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine? Means Madame Forrester was surprised that how could? Means you replace the diamond necklace or means you bought a diamond necklace to replace that necklace of mine? Yes, you did not perceive it then. You did not identify that. You did not look it there at that time when I returned. They were just same. Madame Forrester smiled with proud and simple joy. Madame Forrester was touched and took both her hands as she replied, oh, my poor Matilda, mine were imitate. Imitate means fake one, false one, imitation one. They were not worth over 500 francs. And she gave it, she replaced it with the 40,000 francs by giving with the 36,000 francs an actual diamond necklace to her. Was it not called as a kind of a means fool? She should have talked about it. She should have means she should have discussed about it. She should not have means made her own decision, or they should not make their own decision to give it back by buying the actual one. Second thing is called as this is one of the life means a lesson. This is nothing but a lesson which is giving us hint that we should restrict ourselves with our own limitation or whatever we have. We should not expect more than that, what we cannot afford it. Right? Ambitious is okay, but to achieve it with your own, right? So that's what is needed. We should not means live our life borrowing things or lending things from others that we cannot pay it back. As we draw at the end of it, though it's a fake one, but at the same time, it took 10 years valuable time of this couple. This is somehow called as one of the best lesson they have learned, right? So that's all for the day, guys. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, bye-bye. Thank you. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you, sir.
I try to finish it. Okay. Hmm. So you may leave for the day. Thank you.